Hey, how's it going everybody? KG Chaos here, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can make 1,000,000,000 credits a day in No Man's Sky. Now this is really easy to do, but it does involve a little bit of time. This is not an exploit, this is a real game function that was meant to be used in the game, but it's actually really simple to do. The only thing that does take a little bit of is time, and that's pretty much it. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a stasis farm. So what you guys need is a quantum processor, cryogenic chamber, and Iridescite. How the hell you say that word? But that is what you need for this. And the first thing I'm going to start off with is the cryogenic chamber, which you need living glass and a cryo pump for. So the living glass, let me go ahead and find it here for you guys. You need lubricant and glass. So we're going to go with lubricant first. And for this you need Faecium and gamma root. Sorry if I'm butchering these words. But the first one that we're going to talk about is the Faecium. So this requires you to build in a building, which is kind of annoying, but I get the point of it because you need it for one of the most expensive things in the game. But anyways, this is my Faecium farm right here. I'm just going to start calling it FAC. That's what I usually always call it. You will need at least 100 of these planted, or 100, I'm sorry, you need 400 different plants of these planted. So I just made a 4 different section room here that have 25 of these the planters. I'm just gonna go with that, the planters. So 100 of those total, but there's 400 plants. That's how much you're gonna need to be able to at least make enough, or have enough to make enough enough stasis devices to get 1,000,000,000 credits each day. So that's all really is to it. But I'm going to show you guys another thing as well. Try to find an S-class electrical grid. I'm not sure how much of a help they're going to be, but it will be a little bit of help because this is what you're dealing with right here if you are wanting to build one of these without it. It is kind of ridiculous on how much different solar panels and batteries you need. Now this is the least amount that you need, or that you need to have put up to be able to keep this this farm always on, like to make sure it's always working, to be able to charge the batteries and keep on the farm during the daytime, and then the batteries would be for the nighttime. So what you guys want to do is you need to build 115 solar panels if you don't have the electrical grid. If it isn't an S class, I wouldn't bother, because if it is an S, it literally just has like no power whatsoever. But 115 solar panels, you need 33 batteries, and that is it. And then also, go ahead and mention this, whenever you guys connect them, make sure you connect the main power that's connecting to the farm to a solar panel. Don't connect it directly to the battery, because it will start taking from the battery even if it's daytime. And what we guys want is, you want it to take from the solar panels during the daytime so the batteries can fully charge and be enough for night. But you want to also connect the solar panels at each end of, or at really all corners of your batteries that you put down. You're just going to maximize the power more while using it. So you're usually going to only get about 26 kps, but if you connect all of it right, you can get it up to 50. But yeah guys, that is pretty much it for the Faecium farm. This one does take the longest, this is why it is first on my list. Another thing I want to give you guys a little bit of, if you are not on the newer consoles, so if you're on PS4 or the old gen Xbox, you want to find a planet or moon that is like our moon in real life, that's kind of barren, has nothing on it, kind of like this one I'm on. The ones that are more moon-like, that have nothing on them, are better, just because the older consoles can't hold frame rate very well, and just this little bit of items that I have down is almost about 1,000 different items placed, and that's about the point to where frames start to matter. And if you're on a planet that is lush, that has trees and a lot of grass and different animals and stuff, it's gonna make it frame a lot quicker the more items you put down. So make sure you guys try to find as empty as a planet as you can for this base. So next we're going to move on to Gamma Root. So I'm going to go ahead and head to that base now and tell you guys what to do. Before I do that though, I'm going to give you guys one more freshen up on what all you need. You need 115 solar panels, 33 batteries, and then you need to plant 400 different Faecium plants. That equals 100 different planters. Okay, so let's head on to the next farm. Alright guys, now we're at my Gamma farm. I'm going to show you guys for the lubricant you need 400 for just one of these. So here at my Gamma farm, I have a little more planted than what you need, but you need to plant 371 of these plants to be able to make enough to reach 1 billion credits. Really simple to do. So these farms I'm gonna just blow by them really now, because all I really got to tell you is how many you need to plant. The Fac farm was really the only one that took a minute because there was like a lot of power things I needed to tell you. But yeah, that's all you need. You need 371 of these Gamma Root plants planted. Alright guys, now we're going to move on. For the living glass, we need regular glass now, so we're going to go to my Frostwort farm, and I will see you guys there. Alright guys, now that we're here at my Frostwort farm, you guys want to plant 279 of these. I'll put all these down in the description as well for you guys, so you guys can get to them easier, so you have to come back, and so you don't have to go back to a certain point in the video. They will be in the description as well. But for this you need again 279. Now there is another item that uses Frostwort or Frost Crystal to be able to make. I did incorporate that already, but if you want to play it safe, I would just make it 300 even of these Frost Crystals. But yeah, so we're gonna move on to the next one guys, because now that we can make our living glass, we now need to make the Cryo Pump, which needs hot ice and thermic condensate. So the hot ice, you need enriched carbon and nitrogen salt. So for this condensed carbon, I will tell you guys here in a minute how to get that very easily. I'm going to tell you guys my own method that I've used since the game's released. But for the nitrogen, the radon, and what's the other one? There's one more. But to get these special different gases, you guys are going to want to have to build. Let me go over to it here for a second. You guys are going to want to build one of the atmospheric harvesters here, or atmosphere harvesters. Now this is very slow. Now it doesn't produce very much, so this is what's going to be the most time consuming. If you guys want this to go by faster, I recommend getting some of this and then looking up a dupe method. I'm not going to say how to do it in this video because I'm trying to keep this video legit. So if you guys want that fast, I recommend going and watching a dupe method. There's a very easy one that requires like 2 portable refiners. I recommend going and watching that if you don't have much time on your hands just to dupe the gases, because these are going to take you the absolute longest to get. It gives you like 1,000 if you have all 3 placed, or no, like 750 of one gas like every hour, and you have to be online. If you get offline, it turns them off. So I recommend just if you guys don't have much time, looking into that. But yeah, again, you need 279 frost crystals plants put down, or if you want to be safe with it, just put 300. And now guys, since we haven't made any of the parts, but once you guys have all of that, you'll be able to make the cryogenic chamber here, which is one of the parts for the Stasis device. Now it's on to the quantum processor, which you need the superconductor and the circuit board. So I'm going to go through the superconductor first, because it requires just a little bit of materials that you have to go get yourself. So you have to have the semiconductor and the enriched carbon to make this, which uses about the same materials that you had to use to make the last part to the cryogenic chamber, to make the cryo pump. You pretty much need the exact same things. You just have to make them over again. So this, like I said, is the most time consuming part, because you have to have so much of this special gas to be able to make this. So again, just go back on what I said earlier. If you don't have much time playing the game, that's going to be the best way for you to get it. So then once you guys have all of that, there's no special way of getting it. You just have to go do it legit, which is very time consuming. The only thing I recommend ever duping on to get these farms set up is really just the gases, because they take forever. Even if you have a lot of time on your hands, they still take a very long time to get. So now moving on to the circuit board, we need the polyfiber and the heat capacitor. So we're going to move on to the polyfiber first, which you need cactus flesh and Starbulb. Okay, guys, now moving on to the Cactus Farm. So you need 100 for these. I recommend planting 75 of them, because you get 100 yield and you need 100 to make the polyfiber. So for each one of these, you can make one polyfiber in retrospect if you have enough Starbulb or Starbulb, sorry. Yeah, just one of these will give you enough to make one of them. So I recommend just putting about 75, 100 of these down. Not very many at all. Yeah, I mean, it's still 100, but that's pretty much it. We're gonna move on to the Starbulb now. Alright guys, now we're here at the Starbulb farm. All you need for this is 366 plants planted. If you guys want to play it safe, it's your own opinion or personal preference of what you want. You can put down 400 just to play it safe, but 366 should get you that billion credits each day. So there's something else I wanted to mention here. If you guys don't have much money, I recommend selling the living glass first, starting out and doing it. Or if you guys can't get most of that, I would go out and go ahead and do the lubricant. Because you get all of this 110,000 credits for one of these, and it only takes 4 hours for both plants to finish growing, instead of doing the polyfiber, because this one's only 20 grand more for one, and the cactus flesh takes like 16 hours, 18 hours to grow. So the best thing to do if you guys don't have much money is to start the lubricant farm first, so you guys can get a little bit of money, because some of these materials are like the basic materials, like ionized cobalt, ammonia, stuff like that, to make a certain material that you need. I'll show you guys here in a minute. But the best thing to do for those is go to a space station and buy from the NPCs, but I'll get more into that. But yeah guys, just all you need for the Starbulb farm will be 366 plants. So the last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and go to the Solanium farm. Alright guys, the last farm here is the Solanium. All you need is 186 of these planted. Yeah, that is it. That is all the farms that you guys need. Then you guys will be able to make the polyfiber. You guys will be able to make the heated capacitor. And then down here, you'll be able to make the stasis device. So the last thing we need to talk about is the Iridescite, or however the hell that is spelled. So what you need for this is the Aronium, Magno Gold, and Granite. So for these, you need ionized cobalt and dioxide for the granite, mango gold, and let's go up here to Aronium first. You need Faecium and ionized cobalt, and then last one, mango gold, phosphorus, and ionized cobalt. So all of these different materials that you need for this can be bought at a space station. Also, ferrite dust will be highly needed as well. All those materials are best bought at space stations that are in the tier 3 economy. So anything in the wealthy type tier, it does not have to be wealthy as in the system doesn't have to say wealthy, it just has to be the tier 3, because you can buy 3,000 up to 5,000 of each material from just the random NPCs. You may have to go to a few different space stations and different systems to find all the ones you need, but that is the fastest way to do it. Yeah, it's going to cost you guys maybe around 20 million in just materials, but I promise you it is definitely worth it to get these farms built, because once you get them built, you could make 1 billion credits a day, or if you guys wanted to, all you got to do is double all these numbers I'm telling you guys, and you'll have billions. Probably have a massive farms right now that make me about 10 billion credits every day. I don't spend that much, but whenever I need credits, I never have to worry about it because I always have farms that will produce it. So the last thing I want to show you guys is how to get the condensed carbon. I told you guys I'd show you how to do it, and I'd show you how I've done it since the game has pretty much released and it's been an option. So what you guys want to do is make you guys a fungal farm. The reason I say this is because you can refine fungal mold into condensed carbon. So for this, you only need about 140 of these planted. But I recommend planting as many as you can until it gets a little frame ratey, or maybe not too frame ratey, just before you think it's going to. I recommend planting a lot because this plant is very helpful, even though it gives you nothing but carbon. So whenever you harvest it, it gives you the fungal mold, but if you refine it, it makes it into regular carbon. So one stack of this fungal mold will make 2 stacks of carbon, which in turn makes 1 stack of condensed carbon. So you're pretty much not doing anything and letting these fungal mold plants grow for 4 hours, and then you're being able to turn just one stack of this fungal mold into condensed carbon. It's really simple to do. It's what I've been doing for years. It's the fastest way to get carbon. I see some people say get in your ship and shoot trees. I promise you this is so much faster. Like, look at all this fungal mold I have planted. Out of this I can probably get about 3 to 4 stacks of fungal mold, which that turns into a lot of carbon and condensed carbon. I'm telling you, like, do this, guys. Don't do anything else for carbon. This is the best way. Just go ahead and plant it, harvest it, refine it, turn it into that carbon or condensed carbon, and that is all you guys have to do. And that is pretty much all for this video as well. I'm going to put a clip I made earlier of selling my stasis devices at the end of this. There won't be any more talking. I just want to show you guys how much you can make from these farms that I did. As you guys can see my money now in the video, you'll see it go up to about that. I did that right before I made this video, so I'm making this pretty much after I harvested everything about a day ago. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I honestly hope it was helpful for you guys in getting more money. I don't know why, it just bugs me that, or not really bugs me, but that people will use the Indian farm. Yeah, you can get a lot of money that way, but the only thing with that is that you only get about maybe 200 million a day, and once you get this farm planted, you never have to worry about money again. I'm not sure exactly how the Indian farm works, the active Indian farm, sorry. I'm not sure if you have to be online for it to start producing stuff and then or whatnot, but I know the other gas harvester instantly turns off once you get offline. I don't know, but the amounts of money people are saying they get each day from it doesn't even amount to how much you can make from actually farming how the game wants you to farm. Like I said, I have so many farms that I could probably go turn them all in for about $10 billion worth of stasis devices. Like, it's ridiculous how much money you can actually make from doing the game legit. And I promise you this only takes a few days. It is a little annoying to get set up, but I promise you it's going to be worth it in the long run for you guys, especially those of you that can't play all the time like some people can. This will really help you guys out because then you can just get online. Plants will grow while you're offline, so that's the really big plus of this. So you can just get on whenever you want, harvest all of it and refine it all, make it into stasis devices, make money. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. Sorry, I meant to end this a second ago, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it was helpful to you guys. If it was, please hit that like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in my next video.